Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma practitioners, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, we practice these meditation techniques with the purpose. So that purpose mainly attaining to enlightenment. And that is our major goal and higher purpose. So, and at the same time, we have to have a very conventional and very comfortable life as a human being in this very lifetime. So, after you, in case if you cannot attaining to enlightenment, before you die in this very lifetime, by the practice of this kind of meditation techniques, you may attaining to higher existence. And also, in case if you cannot attaining to higher existence, at least you can gain another human life. So those are the major three benefits that we can gain out of this meditation technique. Mainly conventionally we have a very comfortable life, but mainly we have a higher purpose to attain to enlightenment. So that should be your main purpose. You should think about it and then practice for that. In case you miss it, it say aim the moon, and maybe you're going to falling down with the stars. So like that, in case if you cannot attain to that, and you may gain the higher existence, and also if it is not going to happen, you at least you gain another human life. In spiritually, mainly in day-to-day life, we do different activities. We do prayers, chanting, and doing dana, and doing other many activities. But at the same time, you have to think, when you die, how these things can help you. So one time there was a person came to Buddha and asked, Venerable Sir, if somebody living a very good life and conventionally everyone in the society appreciate him, and he doesn't break any rules, he doesn't break any ethics, he live very comfortably himself and the society is comfortable with him, but when he die, is he going to go to a better place? Buddha said, I don't teach like that. So then again that person asked, Venerable Sir, there is a person and doing all the bad things, people get disturbed and doing all the unprofitable things in day-to-day life. And when that person die, is that person going to go to hell or lower existence? And Buddha said, I don't teach like that. That is not my teaching. So this little bit confused that people, because it is not what you doing in day-to-day life going to make your next life better or worst. It is about the mind, the condition of the mind. Because in the surface level, we see people do a lot of good things. But how we know really what kind of mindset that they have inside them? So just on looking at the surface level of life, we cannot decide, oh, this person going to become better or bad. So then we have to go to the condition of the mind. And maybe your mind is so good and you develop the mind, but how about when you die in that very moment, if you get disturbed, what will happen? Because finally, the last thought, it called the chuti chitta. That's mean in this very life, the very, very last thought that come to your mind, that thought decide your next life. The next very beginning of the life, it's called pratisandhi chitta. The very first thought. So the very first thought and the very last thought has the relationship. So the very last thought, the nature of the very last thought, giving the blueprint to start the very new life. Not whatever you keep doing or that things. So then in day-to-day life, sometimes people say, when the sudden death happen, like when people having party or eating and then suddenly die, get a heart attack and die. Then people say, oh, how good that death, because he didn't suffer, she didn't suffer. Suddenly she died, he died. That is a very good death. You cannot tell like that. Why? Because how you know what is the condition of the mind? That is not, more than the sudden death. It is, it makes sense that when you are suffer few years, or when you have difficulty and when the doctor say, okay, you're going to die within 6 months, you have a cancer, you have this kind of situation, there are people, and you're going to die within this time. So what you going to do? So like my father, the doctor told, you're going to die within 6 months, or you want to do a surgery. And I came and with the father and I discussed, and no one knew. Yeah, my brothers, the mother, or no one knew. So I talked with the father and told, so now you have a choice. You have 6 months and you can do the surgery, and then the doctor told, after the surgery, don't know what will happen. It going to damage your brain, or don't know what will happen. You're going to be in good condition, or maybe you're going to be kind of like a half and 50-50. So then the father told, no, I stay 6 months. That's enough. So then I told him, okay, then you go home and then then do whatever you want to do and get ready for that. And then I told to my mother, okay, so he going to live only 6 months. Don't tell to anybody. And no one knew. So only mother knew that. And within exactly the 6 months, he died. But what I want to tell, within that 6 months, he did very well. He did good. Little by little, I teach as much as I can, and he prepared for that. So if you die suddenly, how will you know what is in the mind? So as example, you go to a party and you eating, and maybe you eating some food, it is so good. And maybe my mistake, you see something there, or maybe a hair, or maybe something, little dirt, and then you get disappointed about it, and maybe you blaming to somebody suddenly, because you are in a very, very happy mood and enjoying it, and suddenly you see in that something little. With that blame, if you die, where you go? See, that everybody say, oh, sudden death is very good. Why? Because you didn't suffer. But how you know What is the condition of the mind? We cannot tell. And if you stay hospital, and maybe you see how the life, and it's you understanding something, and you know that you are the whatever you have done in life, it's all gone, it's impermanent. So now there's nothing that's keep struck, no, nothing that going to be with us and holding this anything. So you know these things, and you get ready for that. So like that, then just remember yourself, just think yourself. Suddenly you're going to die. So what you going to think? What you going to think about your husband, wife, children, house, car? Then what will happen? You're going to come behind them. So then remember, even you may think about the heaven, and you don't know, it is just idea. Then suddenly you start to think about the heaven, you never saw it, you heard that everything, then suddenly doubt come to you. Then what will happen? Then the worry arise. It take 1 second. So maybe there's a anger arise. So you at hospital, or you somewhere, you need water. So you try to tell. Now mentally you telling it, and you're mentally you telling it, and the physically even your mouth open, or like that you say something. You want water. Yeah, I have been with the many people when they're ready to die. You have no idea what they say. So that's why. So then you need water. And then the person whoever next to you think, maybe something you need to hold in your hand, or maybe your hand hurting or your head hurting, and he try to massage your head. That person think you telling that that you telling your head hurting, but you need water. And then maybe you start to tell, so then the person cannot understand. Maybe he think, oh, you are hungry, and then that person come with some food and start to feed you. Then what will happen to you? You get angry. Right? Because why this person doing this to me? I need water. Don't feed me. Bring me water. So like that, you cannot do anything. You cannot tell anything. See? Then what will happen? Maybe that is your loved ones. So they are the one who next to you mostly. So then you get mad about them. This happen. So that's why practicing meditation, when it come to this, feel comfortable and you feel more relaxed, these things conventionally it is physically we have meanings, but when it come to deeper, the vipassana knowledge of experience and the understanding, it is totally different. It is more related to impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So unsatisfactory nature, you really understand that whatever we achieve, it not going to bring us a total complete satisfaction. So then there is a mango on a tree that you see, it is so tasty, I wanna eat it. So that's a desire, then suddenly it come to you. So even you eat it not going to bring you something. Why? Because maybe you feel taste, then what will happen, that it also disappear. When it come to that kind of wisdom, while when you see the mango, right away the desire to reach it and get it and eat it, that everything start to disappear from you. That is the total satisfaction. Understand it and apply it to other things also. That is the total satisfaction. That is what called, when you practice meditation, you feel relaxed, comfortable. Why? Because you get out of the desire, grasping, holding. Because we are like magnet. We have mind to reach to outside and bring it. It called upadana. It's, you see there are animals. They have the like spring tongue, and when they open like there are some, when they open and they can reach to, like frogs, they can reach, their tongue can reach far away and catch it and bring it. So our senses are same like that. That called upadan. It reach far away and catch it, bring it. How far? Even there's no limit in the universe. See, Elon Musk, reach to the Mars and try to catch it, and now he living with it, and other lot of people live with it. You see, it's like that. We are far away. We can reach to and catch it and bring it. See, you living here, your body here, but your mind can reach to far away and catch it and bring it. That is upadana. So we live with that. So then in day-to-day life, that how we know what is the desire inside our mind. So when it comes to practicing impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness, what will happen? So whatever the feelings come to you, not about others, whatever the feelings arise in you, you recognize that is impermanent, and that is where you not going to react to it. And also whatever the other people react in a different way. When you ask water if they bring the food, you're not going to mad about them. Why? Because you recognizing in that very moment what happening in their mind also. So this is bringing you total calmness, satisfaction to yourself. That is what you need. Remember this, you have this everything, husband, wife, children, friends and family members, brothers, sisters, and good, health insurance and everything. You have, good savings, everything. But that doesn't work. Develop undisturbed mind. That is work. So how? Every day, any moment. See that there are some people, when they get afraid, when something suddenly happen, when they get suddenly disturbed, what they say? Sometimes people say, what the, F. Do you think in that very moment, if that person die with that F word, where that person go? Do you think he go to heaven because he go and pray? No, because that come out of the disturbed, confused, with the anger. So the most of people, that is what they come, suddenly come. So what you have to do? Practice the loving kindness. Say, Suapatveva, oh, may you be well and happy. When you get afraid, suddenly you say, may the Buddha bless you. Buddhu Saranai. Oh, may the God bless you. Do like that way. Because it come out of the compassion. With that compassion word, if you die, you never go to a lower existence. but with the anger, frustration, confused. So this kind of mindset, if you develop, then what will happen? So that's why this meditation is very important. So then always remember, practice breathing meditation. When you go to sleep, go with the loving kindness meditation, with the compassion mind. And in case suddenly something happened, just think about loving kindness, compassion, or focus to the breathing. If somebody at hospital, your brother, sister, your parents, and somebody, and maybe you don't know what to do. And sometimes people call and ask, I going to see my mother, father at hospital, so maybe he going to die soon. So what should I say? So I tell them, don't try to remind their past. Or maybe why? Because you see, maybe it is so beautiful for you, but you don't know what is the condition in that person's mind regarding that situation. Maybe you had a very good time. Who knows in that very good time that you mean as good, if that person mentally was unhappy. So then you remind them, oh, you remember that time we had a good time. So then that person, you trigger the memory. That person was suffering, you didn't know that. And then what will happen? So that's why don't try to tell anything, just focus to the breathing. Stay with the breathing and observe the breathing. If that, if with that person die, it never going to go to low existence. If that person not attaining to enlightenment, go to high existence. If they come to the human life, if they come to a best place, some better place, with the loving kindness. So those are the most important two meditation techniques. Remember, practice, it doesn't matter. Forget about if the husband leave you, wife leave you, children leave you, you can find somebody. If this house disappear, if the earthquake happen, these material things disappear, if the car stolen, if the money disappear, you can find that. But when you going to die, if your mind get disturbed, remember, the very next start going to become very weak. It is very difficult to then, if the beginning is weak, it is very difficult to bring the good life. So look, when the children born with the disabilities, how difficult for parents, even the scientists to fix that. So that's why. So then how you have to do? Our main purpose should be, end the beginning, the becoming. But if not, it not going to work. At least we have to get into a higher place to keep working towards that way. So that's why practicing breathing meditation as anapanasati and the loving kindness meditation. It is universal. It's nothing to do with the religion or nothing to do with that. It's the universal technique. So anybody can practice. So then practice yourself. And if you can practice the vipassana, and you're not going to come back to any existence. Why? Because you know the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. If your mind able to settle down with that, then there is no place to go. That is where the journey end. So it is a more practical possible way to keep going. So this is a kind of like 3 marks that regarding this existence. And another way it called the 3 seals, protections impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, and selflessness. That protection means when you able to settle down your mind with that, you're not going to get disturbed out of anything. So mostly in day-to-day life, so you have to keep practice. We don't know what time, in which way we're going to die. So then always, if you keep practice to bring it when the, especially when you get disturbed, afraid, fear, sad, worry, rather than bringing any very arrogant words, bringing this kind of thoughts to your life every day. When something break, you know when something happen, even you hit somewhere, so naturally, you know there there are ways the people practice it and say suapatya, whatever happened, say suapatya, may it's mean be well and happy. So then when somebody blame, just you say suapatya, it's naturally come to you. So see how this bad, the words come to people naturally. They don't think twice, suddenly come to them. So then what you have to do, slowly apply all the good things to that habit and then keep doing. Then suddenly when you die and your mind able to tackle that and you go with that. And if you have a time to settle down in a hospital or even at home or anywhere, then you get ready for that and you don't worry about anything, and practicing loving kindness and practicing breathing meditation and anapana sati and the practicing vipassana, you die with it. And it's guaranteed, and you never going to go to low existence. So then remember yourself, practice yourself, and teach to whoever you love, especially your parents. Teach them, tell them to do it every day. If they are old, tell them to do it. And yourself, keep practice yourself. And then you will see whatever the life, that situations go up and down, incline or decline. So you're going to be deeply, you're going to be good. That is what you need. That is the long term. In a long run, this is what you get. So then keep practice. There is no any other help for you. When you die, remember, we don't know how it going to happen, when it going to happen, where, but if you are able to keep your mind like this way, with the good meditation practice, you will have a pleasant journey. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. So during this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahan hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.